Welcome to Eugene Holden's Academy of Self-Mastery, where transformation meets action. I'm Eugene Holden. I'm one of your guides on this journey of personal growth, mindset shifts, and deep self-awareness. Each episode, we dive into the tools, wisdom, and strategies you need to break through limitations and step into your highest potential. No fluff, no shortcuts here, just real conversations, practical insights, and a community dedicated to mastery in every area of life. So, if you're ready to unlock your power, elevate your mindset, and create a life by design, then let's get started. Welcome to Eugene Holden's Academy of Self-Mastery. Welcome to the deep end.
I think last year I was in this space of unwanting.
Yes, you were.
Unwant.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yes. I'm just going to unwant because the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want.
Yeah.
All my needs are provided for. I would love to experience this. I would love to create this. I would love to, So yeah, I get it. How we can hold words in a certain way.
Right.
But the question is it helping you to move forward or is it keeping you stuck?
Right.
Yeah.
And my thing around that is just be open, just be willing to requalify what words mean.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Not hold on to it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. In fact, so the example that you used when somebody says, I'm waiting to feel motivated. Okay, well, you're right. So when is that feeling going to come? What are you waiting for? What's going to do that? I
Right.
love what you said. Motivation is at the gym, holding the door, waiting for you to walk in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love inspired. I had a friend of mine ask me years ago, say, hey, Eugene, would you rather be, and you can only pick one, would you rather be inspired or inspirational? I'm like, ooh, let me be inspirational. I didn't know it. I didn't look at it like this at that time, but I realized that setting that intention to be inspirational inspired me.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
It inspired me to dive in. Okay, what do I need to learn? Yeah.
Yes.
And then how do I put that? And this is what I love, right? And this is you as well. Let me take what I've learned and then apply it to my life.
Yes.
Because I can't teach what I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
we can, but it doesn't work well.
No.
Because people are like, wait a minute.
What you talking about, Willis?
Right? And so being inspired to be inspirational has been a beautiful thing. And I think, I know that that's a part of my purpose, to assist others in remembering, right? Well, I'm inspiring, but I'm inspired to do that.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And so which is the segue, because I think you and I spoke about this a couple of days ago in terms of, um, connecting to your yes.
Yes.
Or to live life in joy.
Yes.
Or to be motivated to open the door to go to the gym. And that's a desire, and so which takes us to what I wanted to talk to you about and talk to you with is commitment. Right? Because we can connect to our yes. And I love what you say about this, right? Well, I'm gonna let you say, because you say connecting to your yes is the same as
living life in joy
and connecting to your purpose.
Oh, yes, that too.
Which is, well, because they're you can't separate them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, catching that purpose and even writing a statement of purpose. And all of that is good, but none of that goes anywhere without being committed to it.
Yeah. And commitment is active. It's not just words. Like when we were talking about affirmations a couple of shows ago, it's like it is a activity that you engage in. It is action. And I love that word commitment. When I think about commitment, it immediately makes me think about embodiment.
Hmm.
When I say I'm committed to something, it means that I am open to embodying it, to being it, you know?
Yeah.
And it just takes on, it's like a deeper layer for me when I say I'm committed to walking every day, right? So I get to embody that. I get to be the example of someone who walks every day,
Hmm.
not someone who is waiting to be motivated to go walking every day.
Right. Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I love the word. And what are we committed to?
What
You
are we
know,
committed to?
we could talk about that at any time in history and today, you know? Like what are we really committed to?
Hmm.
Because what we really are committed to, because we could say whatever, but what we're really committed to manifests.
Right.
We will see the demonstration of
Right.
our commitments.
Right. Right. One of the things, you can tell what a person is committed to by their surroundings, by the actions that they take, by the results within their lives.
Yes.
Now, I can
Yes.
say that I am committed to losing 10 pounds, but let me go get my cup of coffee and donut.
Right. Your second cup of coffee and your second donut,
Right?
right?
Right? Yeah. So what am I really committed to? That. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so on the other hand, no, not on the other hand, on the same hand of commitment, it's that discipline.
Mm,
It takes discipline.
yeah.
Commitment takes discipline.
Yeah. That was another word that I had to rework for myself because discipline had a negative connotation
I
for
was
me,
going there too. Hmm.
right? You know, that comes from just childhood stuff.
Right.
To be disciplined, it felt harsh. It felt like a punishment.
Right.
I didn't relate it to commitment.
Right.
So definitely a word that I have had to reframe over the course of my life for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. To
Because
be,
now I see it as disciple.
will you get out my head? Because that's where I was going to, right? A disciple of what? You know,
Yeah.
and when I hear myself asking that question, let me be it for me. It's let me be a disciple to my purpose.
Mm,
You know, let me be disciplined. Let me be committed. Because
yeah.
now I have the desire and I've tapped into that. I got some clarity around that. Okay, I've set the intention. Okay,
Yeah.
great, great. Now I've said my affirmations. Yeah, but now
Yeah.
let's be committed because all of this up until the commitment, the action of commitment, it's just words.
Yes. Yes. You're making me think about, oh, I'm going to find it. Oh, it's right here. How
Of
do I
course it
know
is.
that we were going to, you know, this is
Right?
not, this is not pre-planned, people. Until one is committed,
Oh, get out of here.
until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back, always ineffectiveness concerning all acts of initiative and creation. There is one elementary truth. the ignorance of which kills countless ideas and splendid plans, that the moment one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too.
Mm.
All sorts of things occur to help one that would never otherwise have occurred. A whole stream of events from the decision raises in one's favor all manner of unforeseen incidents, meetings, and material assistance, which no one could have dreamt would have come their way.
Mm.
Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now
Mm.
until one is committed.
Until
Yeah,
one is committed.
there is hesitancy.
Right?
There is hesitancy. And things don't move. Things don't move.
Well, things don't move in the direction that I would
Yes,
like.
yes, yes,
Things
yes,
move, but yeah, but not in the direction that I said I'm committed to.
yes,
Still, there is
yes,
commitment. There is hesitancy.
yes.
Yeah, man. There's so much that's going through now, right? Because the other powerful thing that comes up, and it was mentioned in what you just read, is decision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is, as you've heard me say over and over again, that choice is one of the greatest gifts that we have, right? So make a decision and then be committed to it.
Yeah.
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 You-
I was listening to decision and choice. That's another one of those words. So I was listening. This was during COVID, and Michael Bernard Beckwith was being interviewed, and he gave this distinction that he has about decision and choice. And I hope I get this right. He said a decision is something that you commit to doing or commit to not doing. You make a decision about it. A choice is a state of consciousness that you commit to being. So we have a choice in our consciousness and we make a decision about
Hmm.
how we're going to commit to that consciousness based on what we decide.
Hmm. Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. 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 What's formulating in my mind, it's almost like L, right? Looking up, is making the decision, to start working out. That's
Mm-hmm.
the decision. Now I have choices on how to do that.
Yes.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
choice I have is a consciousness of victim. Well, I can't go to the gym. I can't work out because um, I'm mad because of what he said. So now I can't go work out. Right. So that's a victim consciousness,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Or to say, it doesn't matter what was said, right? I could choose to um, live, breathe, know that love is the source of everything that I do,
Right.
right? And raise my consciousness to love consciousness and go and work out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We have a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have a choice.
Yeah. It's always an inside job.
Always.
This is interesting. There's this phrase that I began hearing a couple of years ago, and some of the younger folks, use it when a couple or whatever, they're in this argument or whatever, and you will hear it. I'm gonna keep this clean. But it's like, oh, you got me all messed up. I'm like, wow, you got me messed up here. I'm like, wow, really? So and it's not too far away from, well, you made me feel this way.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, well, you or conversely, I don't want to make you feel bad, but right.
Right.
And when someone says anything like that to me, I kind of laugh, going, you can't make me feel any way I don't want to feel. You don't have that power, right? Because
Exactly.
I'm committed to standing in who I am,
Yes. Yes.
right? And so go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Finish.
So, the invitation for everybody is to, the next time you find yourself saying somebody made you feel a certain way, or someone says to you, you made me feel a certain way, please understand that no one can make you feel any way that you don't want to feel. And you don't have the power to make them feel any way.
Right.
And that's so huge. That's
It is.
so huge. Because the ego, can be so egotistical that we have the power to make you feel this way. You got me messed up here. No, no, you're choosing
Yes.
to feel that. When I first got that, Melissa, and was in, and the conversations, well, you make me feel, like, no, I don't make you. That's your stuff. Talk
Mm-hmm.
about people getting pissed off.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yeah,
yes. Oh
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Oh yes.
yeah.
It reminds me of because I'm revisiting the four agreements.
I remember you
And
saying that.
the second agreement is don't take anything personally.
Yeah,
And that's what that is.
you're right.
That you are taking personally, whatever the situation is, whatever the person said, you are taking it personally as if it has anything to do with you. It has nothing to do with you,
Right,
right? It's a projection.
right.
It's the other person's stuff
Yeah,
that they want to give to you. And
right.
guess what? You can say no, thank you,
Yeah,
and keep it moving.
yep.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that's not my circus, not my clown. Yeah. And so
Absolutely.
right. And being, that's what I love about all of this and commitment, which is where we are today, right? Well, we're all over the place with this, but not really. But commitment, committing to living your purpose, and I love that, committing to living on purpose, living your purpose, and that includes everything that we've talked about.
Yes. Yes.
Let me be committed to staying true to me, which
Yes.
means that, okay, now that's not to say that the feelings don't come if someone says, well, whatever they say to me, and I'm feeling some kind of way about it, which is
Mm-hmm.
great, and I love that, because I know now it has nothing to do with them. And what they've done, though, is they've pushed a button or
Mm-hmm.
flipped a trigger. And I get to go, oh,
Yes.
thank you so much, after I go through my mental cussing them
Right.
out, right? Yeah. I'm like, okay, okay. So what is this really about?
Right.
Because I'm committed to my growth. I'm committed to my growth. And so I get to take that, like, oh, what's this about? Why,
Mm-hmm.
what am I thinking to feel this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh, oh. I was in a class this past week, and the person who was taking the class brought something up, and it was gossip, right? In fact, I
Mm-hmm.
almost gave you a call the next day, because the next day I was so fired up about it, right? Um,
Yeah.
oh man. And I was like, okay, we need to talk about this. But I didn't. I chose to work with that, because every time I thought about it, I was upset. And I'm teaching the class, and I'm like, I'm shutting this down. But why are you shutting me off? I don't, why are you going to shut shut me down like this is because this is gossip and it has nothing to do with what we're
Mm-hmm.
referring to. But after class, I'm like, okay, why am I upset about this? Well, what they were gossiping about, these people are friends of mine, and it's gossip. It has nothing
Mm-hmm.
to do with what we're speaking about. So it took me a day or two because I'm committed to being clean and clear.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, I don't, and it brought tears to my eyes, Melissa, because gossip is such an insidious tool to hurt folks,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And hurting each other. I've never understood why human beings do what human beings do to human beings. I
Mm.
mean, even as a child, this is stupid, right? So, and I haven't lost that. It's still
Mm-hmm.
heartbreaking to me to watch humanity's inhumane,
Mm.
and so. And that's what came up. Like, oh, this morning though, it's like, oh, because I was gossiped against, and it affected. Well, no. In the moment, I thought it affected how I was being perceived within the field of Centers for Spiritual Living
Mm-hmm.
behind
Mm-hmm.
this gossip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was hurt
Mm-hmm.
behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that came up this past week, it was, oh, okay, alrighty, that's what this is all about. And then I got to the point where I could forgive her, which
Mm-hmm.
is what I did. But more importantly, because I'm committed to being clean and clear, because it's my purpose to be a light and a way shower. In order for me
Mm-hmm.
to do that, I have to be clean. So
Mm-hmm.
then I forgave myself for judging her.
Mm.
And
Yes.
all that comes from my commitment to me,
Yes.
my commitment to showing up for spirit, for love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I love
Uh,
I love commitment.
I love that so much. And that part, that second part, I forgive myself.
Yeah.
Being committed to forgiving ourselves is so powerful. It's so powerful. I have this process that I learned when I was in grad school, and we would get into triads. I went to school for spiritual psychology, and so we would do these triads where it would be the client, the counselor, and then the observer.
Right.
And we would bring up something that was real in our lives, um, and the thought was it was all about forgiving that other person, but the other part of it, the full part of it, the wholeness of it all is forgiving ourselves. So we would do this exercise where we would just say and write out, I forgive myself for judging whomever it is for whatever it is. And we would exhaust that. And many times other people would come up. You would start with one person or one situation, and then it would just like open this well of other things and situations and people until you got to yourself. I forgive myself for judging myself as,
Mhm.
right? So what am I judging myself as? What came up for me that is this is like an opening for commitment to my own healing journey,
Mm.
right? And all of this that's happened is serving that purpose, you know? So I would just write out, I forgive myself for judging myself as
Yeah.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
And I still use that to this day, from time to time. And it still has the same impact
Yes.
for me, which is freedom, to just free myself from any limiting belief that is in the nooks and crannies that is now being um, brought up for me to heal,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So a commitment to healing, a commitment to forgiveness, a commitment to not judgment. These are beautiful commitments that we can make for ourselves and for how we are with other people.
Yeah.
I love that you got to that place
Yeah.
of that for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I jokingly say this, but it's really true. I love my sleep. Love my sleep. And in order for me to sleep well, then have to make sure that I'm clean and clear. So I'm always processing, okay, do I need to, or whatever it is, right? Let me forgive myself, or okay, I made a mistake there. Let me send them a text or whatever it is, to
Mm-hmm.
give them a call. But I want to go back to something that you said. You said, that forgiving self is important. And the question I have for you is, why is it important?
It's important, and I can only speak for myself. It's important, and it's what you said, Eugene. It's about being a clear channel for spirit to move through and as me. And you start building up layers of judgment, unforgiveness. It's like clutter in your consciousness. And it's very, very difficult for the things that you truly desire for yourself to come through. At least that's been my experience.
Yeah,
And because the world needs people
absolutely.
who get the importance of forgiveness,
Yeah.
who get the importance of non-judgment. Imagine a world where,
Mm,
oh, wow, imagine a world where there was nothing to forgive,
right?
where there was nothing to forgive, and that instead of forgiveness, we just said thank you.
Yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Imagine that world.
Yeah.
Because in that situation in the class, we could look at it as a gift that was given to you.
Oh, it really was.
Yes,
It really
yes,
was.
yes. And
I
so
got,
when we could get to that place of thank you, like I got to that place with my father.
mm,
I held unforgiveness towards my father for for many years. And at some point, it became exhausting to hold this unforgiveness, to hold this pain and this hurt and all the things. It just became so heavy that I made a choice. I made the decision. I'm going to let this go. I am
yeah,
going to forgive him.
yeah,
And it wasn't, and for some it's like that. It wasn't like that for me. It took a conversation with him. It took getting some answers because many sometimes the unforgiveness is just because we don't know.
right,
And so then we make up a story,
right.
and that's what I did.
Yeah.
And so once I was able to process all that, get the answers I needed, it was easy to forgive,
Mm,
right? And it was easy for me to say thank you
yeah,
to him because I got more clarity about who he truly is and not the stories I made up about him,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. You mentioned something that's important, is that forgiveness, clears up, the importance of forgiveness. It clears up the consciousness, it clears up
Mm-hmm.
all of that. But also, the body is not separate from that.
Mm-hmm.
So lack of forgiveness has a direct physical impact on the body.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. It's amazing how many people around the globe, suffer through whatever illness solely from a lack of forgiveness.
Yes.
Also, I think we need to speak about this, Melissa, that it's important that our listeners, our watchers know that forgiveness is not about anyone else but ourselves.
Yes.
It's not about letting that person off the hook.
Right.
Um, it's not about that, and I'll come back to that phrase, letting a person off the hook. Because the visual is just, oh, that's morbid, up on a, I mean,
Right.
think of a big
Right.
meat hook,
Right.
right?
Right. And they're just hanging
They're
there.
just
Yeah.
hanging there, right? Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But it's not about saying that what they did was okay. It's
Right.
not even us saying that to ourselves, like, okay, we'll let that go. It's not so much about that. It's about letting go of the resentment
Mm.
and the hurt.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
forgive and then love them right down the path.
Yes.
Does it mean that we
Yes.
have to be friends? Forgiveness is also accepting that this happened. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
got it. Okay,
Yeah.
and I forgive you. Mainly and most of all, most important for me, to me, is that forgiveness frees me up. It frees me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Forgiveness is not agreement. And I think
I
that
like that.
trips some folks up.
I like that.
I can't forgive them because that would mean that I agree with what they did or
Right.
I'm okay with it in some way.
Yeah,
No, it doesn't mean that at all.
right. At all. At all.
It's an act of freedom
It
for
is
you,
for
for
you.
you. Yes.
Yeah. And because we have been speaking about, on Eugene's Holden's Academy of Self-Mastery over these past, this is week 6, 6 weeks, we've been speaking about purpose and commitment and all of that. And what we are really talking about, is becoming free to live that purpose, because again, we're here on purpose for a purpose.
Hmm.
I love that we've come to this spiritual plane called Earth to, first of all, we get here and we forget, you know, who we are. Then it's a journey of remembering
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
I think we spoke about this the last time. I think this was Mark Twain who said the two most important days are the day that we are born and the day we figure out why.
Mm,
You know?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So be committed, everyone. Commit to being the best you that you can be,
Hmm.
which means that you're not to or that we're not to hurt anyone at all. If it's not
Yes.
for if it's for my highest good, then it's going to be for the good of everybody that comes to my conscious awareness.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
For me, that's plain and simple. And I'm going to be really selfish. Good for me. Yeah, very good indeed.
Very good. Until one is committed, there is hesitancy.
Yeah,
There is hesitancy.
yeah. So
So
I want to,
let's ask the folks, what are you committed to?
will you get out of my head? Because that's exactly where I was going. Let's ask the folks and really, sit with that. What are you committed to?
Yeah.
And then let's take one more question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to that?
You know,
Yes.
you're either committed or you're not.
Right, on a scale of 1 to 10.
It's either a 1 or a 10.
Right?
You can't be a little committed.
Right.
You are committed or you are
Or you're
not.
not. I love that. I love that. Well, I'm a little pregnant.
Right.
Either you're, yeah, that breaks it down. You know,
Yes.
are you committed to this or not? And if you're not, okay, at least you're clear.
Exactly. And now you know where to focus. where to spend your time, where to do your work. It's just information.
That's all it is.
It's just information.
I love that. Thank you. You know, and if you decide that you don't want to be committed to whatever, great. Forgive yourself. Don't beat yourself up. That's a decision that you've made.
Yes.
And it's all good.
Absolutely. And I would encourage everyone to, because everyone is committed to something.
Amen.
Right? Now, it may not be what you say you're committed to, as we said earlier.
Right.
But just look, and you'll see
what you're committed to.
What you are really committed to.
Yeah.
And then you can make adjustments. You can make other decisions, other choices for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this journey of Eugene Holden's Academy of Self. No?
Yeah.
Academy of Self-Mastery.
Yeah.
And I think we can end this show with what we are committed to. So I am committed to seeing a world where love, joy, oneness, peace is. And my commitment is being and embodying love, joy, peace, and oneness. I'm committed to that.
Yeah.
How about you?
What you said. I am I am, Melissa, committed to continually to show up. I am committed to continue to show up as joy everywhere I go. I'm committed to being the vibration of light everywhere I go, even if it's to go get a cup of coffee or to the store or getting gas or whatever it is. I'm committed to being, and this may sound cliche, but being a beneficial presence on the planet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ashe.
Ashe. Yeah. Welcome to the deep end, because it is about being committed to not just our growth here, but your growth as well.
Yes.
So tell a friend, be a friend. All right. Peace and blessings, everyone.
Peace.